In this video, I'm going to show you how to download Docker on a Windows machine. So before we actually download Docker, there are a few things we need to check first. So the first thing we need to check is the Windows version on our laptop. Now, to do this, you can type WinR on your keyboard, and then that's going to open up the Run dialog. And I'm going to type in WinVer, and that's short for Windows version. So if I just drag this here, as you can see, it's clearly Windows 11 that's running on my laptop. So that's good. The minimum requirement is for us to have Windows 10 for Docker to run properly. The next thing we need to do is to check if we have WSL on our laptop. So WSL stands for Windows Subsystem for Linux. And that's going to make it easy for us to run Linux containers on a Windows machine. So once again, type WinR on your keyboard. And this time, we're going to type CMD for command prompt. And then I'm going to type in WSL and then hit enter. And I don't have WSL on my machine because it says the Windows subsystem for Linux is not installed. So to do that, you can actually press any key on your keyboard. So I'm going to just do that. Let's type G. And then I'm going to click yes. If it prompts you to proceed, I'm going to click yes. So you do the same. And it'll take a while for this to download. So just wait for it to complete, and then we can proceed to the next step. And if you want to check if all that worked, I can just type in WSL --status. So what I need to do now is to turn on Windows Subsystem for Linux. So to do that, I'm going to search for turn Windows features on or off. And then I'm just going to scroll all the way down until I see Windows Subsystem for Linux. And I'm going to check this. And then I'm going to click OK. And I just let it do its thing. And I'm going to click Don't Restart so that I can restart it later on once we actually install Docker. The next thing I need to do is to check if virtualization is on. So to do that, I need to right click the taskbar and then click on Task Manager. And then I'm going to click on Performance. And as you can see right there at the bottom right, virtualization is enabled. So that means virtualization is on. So Docker will need that. So that's good. And now we are ready to install Docker. So open your browser. I'm going to use Google Chrome and type in Docker. And then click on the first link from the official website. Hover your mouse over developers and then click on documentation. And then click on Get Docker. And then just scroll until you see Docker Desktop for Windows. You can download any of the other options if you're using a different operating system. So I'm going to click Docker Desktop for Windows. And then I'm going to click Docker Desktop for Windows -x86_64. So this first one. And now that should be downloading the Docker installer. So let me minimize all this. And under configuration, just make sure add shortcut to desktop is ticked. I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to let it install what it needs to install. So this may take a while, so just let it complete and then we can proceed to the next step. So once it's completed installation, click on Close and Log Out. So you may need to restart your machine before we can proceed to the next step. So I'm going to do that and I'll see you in a bit. I've now restarted my machine and I'm ready to resume the next steps. So open Docker by typing Docker. So on the Docker subscription service agreement, click accept, and then you should see this page. So you can set up a Docker account if you don't have one, or you can log in if you do have one. For now, I'm going to click skip. And now it's going to start the Docker engine. So let's just wait until it's finished with this process. Okay, and now it's done. So let's open up the command prompt once again. So WinR, and then type in CMD. we need to confirm that our system has actually downloaded Docker successfully. I know we can see it, but let's just make sure that all the changes have been integrated into our machine. So I'm going to type in Docker. I'm just zoom in a bit. So I'm going to type in Docker -- version. And there we have it. So it's successfully showing the Docker version that we're currently using. So if I also want to go the extra mile, I could go Docker run hello-world. And there we go. So it's showing this message to confirm that Docker has been downloaded onto our machine successfully. So that's pretty much it. You have successfully downloaded Docker on your Windows machine, and you should be able to start your Docker projects. So hopefully that helps, and I hope you stay blessed.